Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we are looking at an item which is below the belt. We're here today to have a look at the Helikon Tex Greyman Tactical Pants. Now before we get into this, it's kind of just a little bit of a preface before this, just about how long I've had these now. So I got these for, I've had them for a while now actually. But whilst away at IWA last weekend, these were my go-to pants. So for 2 of the 3 days I wore these. In fact, actually no, thinking about it, kind of 2 days whilst at the event and the day before whilst traveling. Very comfortable whilst traveling. Both of the days we put in between kind of 25 to 30,000 footsteps. Yeah, very comfortable. I felt it was probably important to add that at the beginning. Also, just in case you're after this sort of information, I am a 36-inch waist. These are an extra large, which is a 36-inch waist, and these fit me perfectly. They're actually just ever so slightly a little bit too big, which is great because it just means I've lost a little bit of a timber around the waist. Some of that winter plumage has started to shed. They're also a 32-inch leg, which is a regular. I'm kind of like a 31.5-inch leg, so they're just a tiny little bit too long, but it's nothing. It's more of an observation than a hindrance. I think if I'd have gone for the short, then just my luck, they'd have been too short. But for all intents and purposes, for the sizes that I generally go for, these fit perfectly. So I guess some extra little bits of information about these. They're available in 5 different colours. The material that these are made from is the duracanvas. Duracanvas is very nice and hard wearing and tough. It's a synthetic mix of polyester, cotton and elastan. Now I will say being able to walk in these is incredibly comfortable. There is a diamond gusset here. So being able to lift your leg, squatting in these lunges, again, is very comfortable. The beauty of being able to sit down in one of those incredibly small chairs that you get whilst traveling, not have to worry about kind of, you know, it is kind of readjusting yourself, pulling yourselves around. There's just enough give with the small percentage of elastin that you get in these. There's just enough give so that you can always make sure that you can find a comfortable position to sit in. And again, you know, not have to keep readjusting the family jewels. Now, as we usually do, we'll start at the waist, have a look through the pockets and the rear, and then we'll work our way down the legs. Now, as the name suggests with these are the Greyman Tactical, which almost seems a bit of an oxymoron considering you've got Greyman and Tactical together. But I think these are perfectly suited for somebody that is, you know, maybe they want to wear something that has a little bit more just in case they need it, but be able to wear these to the office. I've worn these to the studio that I work in and had absolutely no kind of second looks, apart from maybe that they're like, that's weird, Randy's in today and he's not wearing some combat pants. But you will notice that they have some tactical military inspired features about them. So starting at the top on the waist, so I currently have a 1.5-inch belt on here, fits through perfectly, no issues whatsoever. The loops on these are really quite large loops. This is roughly about 1 inch across. If you want to put a large belt in here, you definitely could do. The waist closure on here, like you tend to get with a lot of Helikon Tex. So this is a hook and loop closure. You generally tend to find that this is what they go for, mainly because buttons, press studs, all of those sort of things can fail or can fall off. Plus with this, it just gives a little bit more kind of micro adjustment. Maybe you've just had Christmas lunch, you want to let the trousers out a little bit, then maybe you can pull those out. Now, just in case you have just had your Christmas lunch, or maybe you are a little bit in between sizes, here on the back there is a panel of elastic. So if you need to wear these without a belt for some reason, I don't know why you'd not wear a belt for some reason, then you've got that on there as well. Closure on the front is a zip. This is a YKK. It is one of the metal zips. So let's put this right. Yes, YKK metal zip on here. This is one of the core essential belts, absolutely bomb-proof. I've made some content on these belts. I'll leave a link to, wherever it is that it goes. But as far as your belt loops are concerned, you have 2 at the front, 2 on the sides, 2 at the back, and then there is one just in the middle here again to stop that kind of sagging down at the back. Really nice. Haven't had any issues with any of the belts that I've tried to use on these. On the front, as far as pockets is concerned, kind of typical. So imagine that these are more like jeans pockets, so they come in from the top more like a trouser pocket, where you kind of come in maybe a little bit around from the side. Ample room within each of these to get your hands in here. I have my what is this? This is the Pixel 6. Fits in, no issues whatsoever. There's at least another maybe 20, maybe 30 millimeters before it even gets to the top. Plenty of room either side. I have a 9-inch span. I can get my hand in, kind of get it roughly open. So I'm kind of doing that inside there. Still plenty of room. Inside the pocket itself, so these are, as I mentioned, made from duracanvas. So across the top side of the pocket, which is the bit you'd probably see on the inside of the skirt here, it's the same duracanvas, but then on the inside it uses the super tough mesh that you get with a lot of Helikon Tex products. Pretty good. Well, I say pretty good. That makes it sound like it's not good. That's great, mainly because it also adds a little bit more ventilation through the pocket as well. On the, or at least on my right hand side here as well, if I take out this pocket, I've got some chapstick there, because I get dry lips on the plane coming back from Germany. So you have your fairly standard pocket here, and then there is a smaller little wee pocket in here as well. So if you want to put a knife, maybe you want to put a torch in here as well. Goes down reasonably deep. One of those are the ones you get tender in jeans. Tends to be a little bit shorter. This does go down a wee little bit further. So if you have a longer item, this is the Ace Beam Pocket Light. That fits in there, absolutely no issues. That kind of Greyman Tactical side though, you may have noticed that here on the front you have 2 additional pockets. One, or at least I say you have 1 additional pocket, but it's the same on each side, so you do have 2 of them. Reasonably good depth to these, but also as well, they sit reasonably flush when you don't have anything in them. So this one here at the moment, I have my a little lens cap. On this one, can I fit my mobile phone into it? Yes, I can just fit my mobile phone into it. But you've probably got maybe 20mm poking out of the top. If it is that you're one of those types that likes to carry these strange metal boxes around with you, maybe you're doing something fun for the day, you've gone to the range and you want to just wear your same pants, then you can fit again, one of these strange metal kind of contraptions in your pockets. And that's it. Fairly plain and simple for the front. Very traditional in your normal style pockets here, which are great, nice and deep, and then you have these 2 additional pockets. Now on the rear, you have the same again here as well. Well, I say same again, so it is mirrored on both sides. So I will look at here, which is my right buttock. So for me, this is where I keep my wallet. Very similar to a standard kind of jeans pocket, I'd probably say. It's just in that position, which is the same position that you always come back to grab whatever it is that's in here. Got my little extra beauty in there at the moment in time. But there are actually 2 pockets here at the back. So you have this one which your muscle memory automatically goes to, which is your, again, that kind of traditional pocket. But just to the left, or at least I suppose, these are more kind of centered over each button. buttock, but then when you move in closer to this seam here, then there is an additional pocket here. Now, whilst traveling, because of you do get issues with pickpockets in Europe, but you get that issue with places all around the world, certainly not singling out Europe. But what I had, rather than having my wallet in this pocket, I actually had my wallet in this pocket, mainly because it's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit harder for somebody to get their hands into, which is great, and it's not that normal position that somebody would probably have to get to. The pocket itself here is fairly flat. The stitching is almost kind of inside the seam or inside this actual material, where generally the pockets are stitched on the outside of there, which is nice. It's just kind of flatter. Hopefully that would mean that there's less wear and tear, and there is also a small little Helikon Tex logo here. Exactly the same on this side as well, but as I mentioned, you know, if you're the type that likes to carry around these strange metal boxes with you, then it's an additional pocket that you can have here on your hip should you need to get access to one of these. Let's call it a metal banana holder for now. Should you need to access your metal banana holder, it's out, you've rocked and locked that metal banana holder. But yes, so there, the pockets on the back, really nice, great access to these, and I think this little additional pocket, although yes, it's designed primarily for these metal contraptions, putting your EDC items into these is actually really nice, and they fit just right. Now, moving down then, I previously mentioned the gusset on these. So the gusset does have that expanded diamond section through here, which again, being able to lift your legs up, the extra freedom of movement. Well, you see, I won't say extra freedom of movement. What I will say though is that it doesn't limit your freedom of movement. Trying to be able to do this maybe in a thick pair of Levi's, especially a new pair that haven't been worn in yet. You know, you'll just kind of feel it. No issues with these with these whatsoever. Now, for the rest of these, coming down all the way down to the cuffs at the bottom here. No additional side pockets. No hidden pocket on the inside to put maybe some knee protection if you need to take a knee. None of that. No additional kind of pockets around the ankles. They're just a fairly standard pair, almost like chinos. Actually, that's probably the best example, really. They are a very kind of tactical chino or Greyman Tactical chinos, but yes, incredibly comfy. That's the biggest thing that I will take away from these, and that is just how comfy these are. They really are incredibly comfy. Being able to walk around IWA for 2.5 days, it's nuts, but trying to keep as comfy as possible and also keeping yourself as light as possible, these definitely came into their own. So there you have it, the Helikon Tex Greyman Tactical Pants. Thoroughly enjoyed having these. I've probably said this 1,000 times already. Thoroughly enjoyed having these away whilst with me. Here on Moorland EDC, I am a huge fan of Helikon Tex products. I've reviewed a lot of them in the past, so I will leave a link to which side it goes so that you can see more. Have quite an extensive playlist on them. They're certainly a company that, for me, there's quite a few standards that I feel that they have that kind of matches my kind of outlook on life, whether that's providing gear and kit for what people actually want, the quality of the products that they're putting out there, kind of divided by the fact that they're not as expensive as some of those incredibly ridiculously premium brands out there. There's so many small little touch points for them that, yeah, they align themselves with a lot of the kind of things that I value in life. Now, I will say at this point, I want to say a huge thank you to Military First. Sorry, there's a Buddy, fly on the screen. I'm not going to start. Yeah, I'll just keep going. So huge thank you to Military First. These were sent to me by Military First. Military First are one of the UK's largest outdoor and military suppliers. They pretty much stock everything, or at least as far as some of the super new things coming out from Helikon Tex. So you can go to there and you can pick them up. Now I do have a link below, which is Moorlander 10, which will give you 10% discount off non-sale items. And it's important that I add that little bit. They do have plenty of sales on their website, so it's not an additional 10% off any of the sales. It is off non-sale items, but again, I just have to stress that last bit. So a huge thank you and a shout out to the awesome team at Military First. Now, of course, I'll leave those links below so that you can see more from them. I'll leave some of my social media links here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Nearly happened, nearly started without any audio. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? I mean, coming out into the woods is fun anyway. La, la, la. Who Military First are, they're one of the largest, if not the largest, chicken factory. I work with chickens. Good. If you get that reference, that's because you're cool. Was it a chicken factory? I work in a chicken factory. Good. So there you have it, the Helikon Tex. And about with these. Yeah, love them. So now, no shit, bollocks. Titty, 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 titty. Away in Germany last weekend. Yeah, absolutely amazing pants. No. What a beautiful day. Not too cold, not too hot. It's about 6 or 7 degrees, which for me is just chef's kiss. Anyway, where were we? The cost, no, fucking shit, bollocks, tip banks. I'm just inventing shit now. Oh, flies everywhere. I think this is going to be another one of those years. It's March. And they're already out. 9. Anyway, hope everyone's good. Pretty tired. Hope you've enjoyed the IWA content. It's been a blast this year. It really has been a blast. It was also really nice to spend a lot of time on the Helikon Tex stand, looking at the new gear and talking to the people that live there, that work there as well. They gave me a coffee. And I was wired. I might do, shall I do an IWA bloopers? Probably just be lots of me swearing and talking to Mike, my cameraman, saying, should we do some press ups? Should we do some star jumps? Because I was wired on the coffee. So yes, whatever day it is, well, today's Tuesday. This might come out today, actually. I might put it out today. So yes, I hope you're all good and hope you're all having a great time. Yeah, stay safe.